Sunday's meditation here at KPC, Kundang Peo Choing. Today we're going to do some meditation sessions together with a little bit of instruction. And first we're going to begin with some opening prayers. So we're going to do the 7-line prayer together 3 times. Organ yogi nucham sam Pemange sadompola Yasan shogi no drumne Pema jungne shesudrag Kordu kandrom mampokor Keki jesu dang drupki Jinjilob shir sheksu sol Guru bema siddhihum Organ yogi nucham sam Pemange sadompola Yasan chogi no drumne Pema jungne shesudrag Kordu kandrom mampokor Keki jesu dag drupki Jinjilob shir sheksu sol Guru Bema siddhihum Organ yogi nucham sam Pemange sadompola Yasan chogi no drumne Pema jungne shesudrag Kordu kandrom mampokor Keki jesu dag drupki Jinjilob shir sheksu sol Guru bema siddhihum. So again, thank you for joining us, whether you're here in the room with us or online. Hello. So when we talk about meditation, before we even begin meditation, we want to talk about our motivation, remembering our motivation for why we're here today, and to generate a compassionate intention to do this meditation. So whenever we begin an activity, we should begin by generating compassion for all beings and establishing pure motivation. This is especially true when we begin to meditate or pray, or we listen to a Dharma talk, or we read a book about the Dharma. So our motivation determines the direction of our actions. So we must begin by establishing the proper motivation. That's very important. So together, whether you're here in the room again or online, let's take a moment to generate compassion together, and that we have this motivation that whatever we learn today, or whatever virtue or merit that we create by meditating together, that it will bring immeasurable benefit for ourselves and all sentient beings. So let's take a minute to establish that intention. All right. So the meditation that we'll be doing specifically today is called Shamatha. And the text and words I'm referring to today come from Jetsama Akonlama, our teacher here at KPC, from her book, Stabilizing the Mind. So this is directly from that book in her words. So what is meditation? Before we begin to sit in meditation, what is it? Meditation is the natural state when our mind is relaxed, when it's calm, when it's open. It trains our minds to be calm and relaxed, and also yet alert and wakeful. So the whole point of meditation is to create more space in our mind. And especially with this, how life is these days in this modern era, it's hard to create spaciousness in our mind. We can see that throughout our day. There's so much that grabs our attention. There's so many ways we can stay busy and distracted. So creating that space in our mind helps us balance our emotions. It creates space between our actions and our reactions. So kind of giving us that pause to maybe think before we say something or think before we do something, creating that spaciousness. And it's also the first step in the development of bodhicitta, which is the wish, the compassionate wish to free all beings from suffering. So we're going to take a comfortable seat. I like sitting on the floor, but if a chair is more comfortable, that's wonderful. It's really about our posture that's important. So we want to make sure our spine is straight. So even if we're sitting in a chair that, we're not hunched over, but we're also not rigid. So we're not like overextended either. So just kind of a straight, relaxed spine. Our shoulders open, our elbows out a bit, and we're going to put our right hand over our left like this, relaxed in our lap. And for our eyes, where our gaze is, we can imagine a line from the bridge of our nose extending down to the floor. So gently gazing downward and kind of picking a spot in that line to rest our gaze. And then we're going to put the tip of our tongue behind our two front teeth, so resting it there. So the mouth is a little bit open. And we want to just relax and breathe normally. So we're not, again, rigid. We're not hurried with our breath. We're just breathing naturally as possible, and letting ourselves relax into this position. So, and you might find as you're doing meditation that your body, if it feels stiff or you're holding in some place, just breathe into it and relax the body even more. So we're putting a very light attention on our breath. We're not trying to control our breath at all. We're just breathing normally. And we want to put, again, the most gossamer thin attention on our breath. It's like when you take your own pulse, you're not putting any pressure on it. You're just observing it. Your attention is like a feather gently riding on the surface of your breath. So when thoughts come up, which they will, that's what the mind does, we just let them go like bubbles popping at the surface of a pond. We just let them pop. We don't need to look at what they are. So our meditation isn't lost by having thoughts, by hearing our thoughts. It's lost when we follow them down the road. When we try to inspect every little thought, or, oh, that's a good thought, that's a bad thought. Oh, I shouldn't have all these thoughts. Oh, I'm not doing this very well. Like how our brain just kind of spins out in that way. And then all of a sudden we realize we're completely distracted and our meditation is lost. So when we find ourselves following a thought, we can just drop it. We can let it pop and we can return to the breath. And if this is very difficult, because a lot of times when we first start doing meditation, we don't realize how many thoughts are rushing around in our head. So if we find this very hard to dismiss our thoughts, we can pick up our thought like with tongs and drop our thought. Or actually use, imagining scissors cutting our thought and throwing the thought away. So if those visual aids help you, use them. But the point is to always return to the single-pointed concentration. So again and again to our gossamer thin attention on our breath. So we're going to do 3 sessions. We're going to start with 5 minutes. And when you do this on your own time, if even 5 minutes feels like, ooh, my brain's all over the place, my mind's very distracted, you can start with 1 minute and see if you can hold your attention for 1 minute, for 30 seconds, for a minute, and then slowly increase that time. So again, on your own time, we can practice how we want and how it feels effective for us. So, but today we're going to start with 5 minutes together. So I'm going to set my little timer here, and we'll do 5 minutes. All right, here we go. All right, that was 5 minutes. So I'm going to try meditating again. So again, sitting with a straight back, hands in our lap, eyes relaxed, gazing downwards, and just try to relax and breathe normally. So if you found that in those 5 minutes there was any body tension, try to even sink deeper and relax in this posture and focusing on our breath. So sometimes it takes a minute, whatever we were doing right before meditating, or maybe we were rushing to get here, or, maybe we had a busy morning, whatever it is, really trying to let that go, kind of leaving it at the door, so to speak, so that we can be present with our breath and meditation here. So we will try this again, and we're just gonna, each time I'm kind of switching up the time, so we're just gonna increase it a little bit we'll do 7 minutes now together. All right, so let's begin. stretch or have a sip of water. So we'll do one more meditation sit together. And again, no matter how our meditation is, or we perception to be, whether it's, oh, that was really good or bad, it's really not about that. It's just about, coming back to the breath over and over again. So we're practicing this, if we do this on a regular basis, it gets easier and easier to do. So this is not a matter of judging ourselves of how it is. We just try to, again, return to the breath over and over again. And, we're giving a light attention on our breath, like the feather gently riding on the surface of our breath. So with that intention, let's do one last session together. Again, relaxing the body, relaxing the breath, and returning to the breath. So we'll do 10 minutes now. So just a little increase. And we'll see how that goes. All right. Starting now. Okay, so again, we can take this meditation practice into our daily lives and try on our own time. Again, experimenting with different times. Maybe start with 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, and just keep increasing your time until you find that, your mind is less distracted. And it takes time, so, be patient with yourself for sure. Again, our minds are very naturally distracted and thoughts arise all the time. So again, we just don't want to go down the road with them. So we're turning again and again to the breath. So again, hope that you try that on your own time as well. And now we're going to dedicate. So this is, the intention is to kind of, seal the virtue and seal the merit of our meditation practice here today, and anything that we've learned or done together in this meditation, that we, then offer that merit and that virtue. So, and we'll do 3 dedication prayers. So you should, have that on your sheet in the back. Throughout my many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue I have accomplished, including the merit generated by this practice, and all that I will ever attain, this I offer for the welfare of sentient beings. May sickness, war, famine, and suffering be decreased for every being, while their wisdom and compassion increase in this and every future life. May I clearly perceive all experiences as to be insubstantial as a dream fabric of the night, and instantly awaken to perceive the pure wisdom display in the arising of every phenomenon. May I quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas altogether, whatever kind of motivation you have, whatever kind of beneficial action, whatever kind of wishing prayers, whatever kind of omniscience, whatever kind of life accomplishment, whatever kind of benevolent power, and whatever kind of immense wisdom you have, similarly I, who have come in the same way to benefit beings, pray to attain these qualities. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout all realms. So thank you for joining us on Sunday here at KPC, and thank you for everyone joining us online as well. And we hope to see you next week. We do this every Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So thank you so much for joining us.